Hello, my friends. I'm happy that you are here again at yourvision.blog. And today I have a very special guest. Today I have as guest Aimara from Cuba. You're welcome.
Hi, George. So happy to have me here. Thank you very much.
Aimara, it's something very special to have a guest from Cuba in this channel because we are talking about Web3. Can you tell us a little bit how you came to Web3?
Yeah, sure. I think it's here in Latin America. At least it was very common hearing about Bitcoin a while ago. There is a lot of Bitcoiners here in Latin America and Bitcoin evangelists, and that's how I started. I started as a maximalist, Bitcoin maximalist. Shame on me, by then. But I started just trying to know more about Bitcoin and how it could help us to deal with so many barriers, financial barriers we have, mostly for receiving and sending money in and out of the country. But then I realized that there was much more behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and it was the blockchain technology. By then, I had no idea it was Web3 at all. I just knew about the blockchain technology, and I fell in love with all the possibilities. And then I discovered a little bit more, and I started to. I thought by then that the only way to get involved with Web3 blockchain technology was by developing actually programming, and I started to learn how to code, and it was very difficult. I'm still dealing with it. I'm not a developer at all, but thanks to that, I met the founder of the first project, Web3 project I was part of, and I'm really glad for that because it opened the doors to actually Web3 and working with a global team and with women, for women and minorities. And it was pretty cool. And that's how I came. And actually, it was amazing. And that's how I started to relate with so many Web3 communities like Kernel and Gitcoin communities. And it was pretty cool. That's how I came here.
And I have seen that you're already part of the DLT talents people.
Yes.
How did you get into that?
Oh well, that's like rewinding, like a little bit of my year. I had a I would say this 2022 has been like a big year. I didn't realize that until I've done a little bit things this year. So after I came from India, when I met this team from this Web3 project I was talking to you. So we met in real life, but when we came back, when I came back to my country, I decided to step down from my leadership position there. And I realized that I had to learn a lot about the technology because I'm all the human side of the technology. But I think once you are inside of this world, when it's like the boundaries between fields and specializations are blurred. So I decided to learn a little bit more about the tech per se and by itself. And that's how I came into the Future Proof Collective architecture track. And it's a very inclusive community when I learned about Web3 and the foundations of the blockchain technology, and was amazing for me. And when I finished that course, I knew about the LT Talent program. And when I read the design of the prefaces and how it opens the door to so many other women around the world, and it's huge. And I was like, I need this. I'm a generalist. I'm a multi-potentialite. So during my whole life, I've done so many things, which is common for us. it's very difficult to find a specialization. And the DLT talent program, it's very good because you go from this general stakeholders and you get to decide to specialize in one of those stakeholders. And I decided to be, I forget the word. I decided to be an influencer, or they call it nodes or something like that. Because I'm a content creator, so I think it fits very good for me. And that's how I ended up in DLT. And it's one of the best things I've done in my life.
Yeah, that's really great. So the program is by the Frankfurt Business School from Philipp Sandner. He is a well-known guy in the web3 environment, and this education is really very good. I also did the DeFi Talent, and I think you must be one of the first peers from the Caribbean in this program, aren't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
that's great. So you're spreading the word. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Do you have many peers in Cuba who are working in Web3?
Not that I know. I mean, here in Cuba, we have a very powerful community of NFT artists. That's something we have here, and mostly in big cities. I don't live in a big city in Cuba, and mostly in the capital, in Havana. It's very strong, and they support each other, and you can find them on Twitter. So, but I'm not an NFT artist. So when we talk about the technology, not really. Maybe developers, yes, we do have developers too, but not like working in the infrastructure and in the communities, and not that I've seen. I'm very used to be the only Cuban in the room, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the DLT talent, I met a girl a Cuban girl, and was so happy, but she's living in Germany, which is not the same. But it's the first Cuban I met in Web3, like working and talking about blockchain and decentralization and regulation and DeFi. It's the first.
So we don't know a lot about Cuba. So what we know the beautiful pictures with the old American cars and the good rum and the good music. Everybody can dance. But I'm sure if you're working in Web3, you have different challenges than we have here. So can you tell us a little bit what are the main challenges working in Web3 from Cuba?
Okay, I can talk about that, and I have a whole list of that. The main challenges, I would say, first of all, are the power cuts right now. Because when you have to deal with daily 12 hours power cuts in your life, it's very difficult to have even a life, like a normal life. Just try to imagine to do it with the internet and the digital world. It's very, very, very difficult because Web3 moves so fast, and you have to be on top of so many things. There are so many events, and I lose Twitter spaces or town halls or contributor calls, and all that happen on Twitter or happen on Discord. And if you don't have power, so you're missing all of that. And when I have this huge, massive power cuts, I have to choose very wisely what I do with the hours when I have power back. And I also have to, create content, and it's not easy when you don't have the basic needs covered, because many times these power cuts also bring water outrages, and that's very, very difficult, when you get to that point, when you reach that point. Another very, very big challenge we have, it's of course internet and technology itself. And I'm saying technology because of the equipment we have, and it's not easy. We take care of our laptops, like, I feel myself a golem, like my precious. So I'm not taking it anywhere, and it's all the time inside my bedroom because it's very expensive. We don't have stores here like Apple or Samsung or anything like that. So all this technology, we find it in the black market, and it's very, very expensive. And also internet, our internet is weak and expensive. Just to give you an idea of how expensive our internet is, it's just imagine that you have to spend the equivalent of an average salary of your country to pay your monthly internet. So just imagine how expensive it's here. It's not as expensive as a few years ago, but still it's very expensive for us. And we can be connected 24 hours. So we have to connect and disconnect and connect and disconnect. So just you have an idea. Also the language, yeah. I think it's to all people who are not native English speakers, because all the content that it's created, not all, almost all the content, not this, so it's created on web3. It's in English, and sometimes are very abstract and very complex concepts, and all these courses and all these teams when I work, the language, of course, it's in English. And when you are a developer, maybe you don't need to have a very high level of English, but when your job, it's to communicate, it's to create content, and it's communication itself. It's very difficult when you're not a native English speaker. So for me, it's been very difficult because I speak English, but it's not the same like creating content in English and writing articles and creating visual content. So that's a big one too, and it's directly related to my imposter syndrome. So I have to deal with that too. And also we have the last but not least, the U.S. government embargo and my geographical situation. I call it somehow, because we have to use VPN every day on Web3 for almost everything. So for giving you an idea, even PancakeSwap, they ban us. OpenSea, we can use it. Even with MetaMask. MetaMask is the front end, and to connect, what connects you or the user with the back end are the blockchain node providers. These blockchain node providers, the one that came by default with MetaMask, is Infura. And Infura, it's part of Consensus, and Consensus is in the US. And they have to, they can violate US law, so they ban us.
And that you are creating great content that people can see on moonpage.io. You are writing really great lyrics, and Moonpage is a fantastic idea. And I bought an NFT to read your poem. It was really great. And also for the companies who want to hire a great freelancer, you will find the link. You will find the link down to contact Aimara, and also the link to her Moonpage poem. It's really great. I love it. Aimara, let's go a little bit more into the future. What is your vision? Why are you working in Web3?
Okay. First of all, I have to say that it's alignment I have with the Web3 core values, like community and collaboration, and also with the blockchain building blocks like privacy and decentralization, and also the certainty that this really can change the world. It's like it's a great opportunity of changing the world as it is. And it's also opportunity to be present for me as, part of the underrepresented groups from being, from the beginning, of this movement, if you want to call it like that. and building this whole infrastructure, thinking in people like me. And because I don't see myself represented every day on Web3, I don't see people like me succeeding on Web3 right now, okay? And still, there's so many people that are part of minorities, like women and the rest of minority groups, creating amazing projects, amazing communities that are really inclusive, that are based on the Web3 core values. And I want to be part of it. I want to contribute to that. And also I want to help to change the invisibility narrative that are around us. You know, yeah, there is a gender gap, we see it, that it's not just on Web3, but on the tech industry in general. And there are also a lot of people working and doing an amazing job that are women and members of minority groups right now, you know. So we are here. Maybe we're not enough, but we are here, and we are talking about the possibility of seeing them in positions of leadership. So it's not just saying, oh, come on, we need more people, we need more women into Web3, but giving us the possibility of grow, you know, and thrive and flourish on Web3. That's something I want to be part of. And of course, for me, breaking this invisibility narrative means going out there and getting exposure like this, and dealing with mad imposter syndrome. And, you know, Jorg, if I succeed on Web3, with all the challenges, with all the, you know, against all odds, I think that really my story can encourage others in difficult situations to join the space. So that's part of my responsibility. You know, I think it's a responsibility I have, and I need to assume like my own. So that's why I'm here.
Yes, and I'm sure what you're doing, it will encourage other people to get seen. And I also will post the link to your poem on Moonpage. It's about the unseen, and it's really great. And I'm sure you will encourage a lot of people, a lot of women coming to Web3 and using all the advantages. And that's really fantastic, Aimara. Thank you for the insights you gave us. And it's great that you're doing this great journey from Cuba. And I wish you all the best on your journey. We will stay in touch, and I wish you all the best. And for the companies who will engage Aimara, there is also the link downside to contact her. Please do it. Thank you very much, Aimara.
Thank you, Jorg. And also, I would love to also say that I have a blog. It is called Out of the Shell, and you can find it on Mirror. So we can put the link too, so they can, the whole audience can read my thoughts about imposter syndrome and Web3 insights. So
very good. Thank you very much, Aimara.
Thank you, Jorg, for having me.